So just imagine if I had a camera that followed me from the ages of 16 and 25, let's say between those years, I would probably be a millionaire or a YouTube sensation. Not saying my life was all that spectacular. I mean, it was good, but, not like a rock star. I mean, even though it had its moments, I think it would be interesting even to this day. Um, no, instead, people like to, comment and just bring up stupid reasons on why certain people shouldn't make videos or, go on and talk about nothing and, shouldn't be commenting on certain, you know, situations around the world. So, especially when it comes to kids. Okay, I get it. Kids are in a whole different, ball game, whatever. They have no business, mentioning or, commenting on, serious situations. But I mean, if they got something to say, if they're old enough to, come up with some kind of structured sentence and an argument, then why not? Why are we butting into, you know, our future pretty much? It's not because they're corrupt or, they're, a political pawn of their parents. I don't want to hear it because that could go, that's like a whole other ball game. I don't even want to touch on that because that's like another video. But I'm just saying, so what? If it's like really ruining your day from getting a cup of coffee, don't listen. I don't understand. People insist on intersecting and just, jamming their ideology down someone else's, 2 cents or whatever. Leave it alone. If a young kid or whoever, an aspiring, adult that, has some sense, wants to make an argument, whether it be about climate or, I don't know, something political, let them talk. They're not hurting anybody. They're not ruining your day. Like, can you imagine if we put a ban or some kind of strong censorship, not a little censorship, like a big censorship on music, and only one type of genre was allowed to prosper? It'd be pretty lame. That's where I'm getting at. Sorry for the long intro, but I just had to get that off my chest because I've just seen too much of it today and it was driving me nuts. Anyway, I should probably, stop watching the news or my YouTube feed, but can't help it. Yeah, soundtracks. Remember them? They used to be awesome, especially if you're like me, metalhead kind of guy. Queen of the Damned, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre soundtrack, Resident Evil. I could go on and on. These had all great things. Even composers. Remember composers? There's a lot of big names, but yeah, sometimes me being a movie lover and amateur filmmaker, uh, really the music kind of tends to push the movie along in whatever direction, whatever you want the audience to focus on. If you raise up, the volume or change the tone of the music, you grab people's interest, and I think this is a big part of film or something viewing. It's always been audio visual. I mean, sure, one or the other is great, but when you have a nice video and a great backing track or music composition, whatever, it just changes the whole thing and becomes iconic. For example, Halloween, the theme, you all know that the Michael Myers theme. You'll never forget it. The Exorcist Tubular Bells. You hear it, you're always going to go back to that, and it's always going to be related to something dark and horror. That's just how it is. Richard Band and his little composure, keyboard line for Puppet Master. If you ever watch Puppet Master, the intro carnival kind of theme. All these guys. Oh, and let me not forget John Carpenter, who not only directs his film, but does pretty much everything. The soundtrack, all that stuff. In fact, he used to be like in a rock band. That's how he kind of got like he cut his teeth in that. Musician first, filmmaker second, but or either or at the same time. I'm not sure, but yeah, I mean, that heavy synth thing. So that's why I like '80s films, because as cheesy as they were, they had great synth scores. I mean, sure, anyone could buy $100 synth or keyboard and throw in a couple of notes and make it all gothic sounding, but if you know what you're doing, it just sounds 10 times better. And a lot of these '80s slasher, like Friday the 13th, for example, that's just a voice loop, but you know the all the music cues, Jason's behind you, or the Nightmare on Elm Street, little musical line there. Music really does make movies and movies sometimes make the music videos, right? So I think I don't think people should forget that, and this is why I'm so glad, when they have like award things for like cinema, that the soundtrack or the composers are always mentioned. I think they deserve an award just as much as the actors, and music is very influential. Like growing up, it was very kind of one sided. It wasn't until I started playing video games where I started recognizing the music. And from video games, like Twisted Metal 4, for example, and 3, had a lot of Rob Zombie, Nine Inch Nails. I didn't know these guys, but I liked it. I did my research, found out who they were. Now, given it just happened to be those guys, it was very industrialist show. A lot of, dark techno, metal all mixed together. And then from that became Marilyn Manson and so on and so forth. And it just got heavier because the crowd I rolled with, they were just really into heavy, Cannibal Corpse kind of, heavy duty stuff. Lamb of God, Pantera, Slayer, Metallica. And then, you know, uh, playing in bands, you meet a whole different kind of crew. Because not one, I mean, sure, you have to get along with your bandmates and all have similar interests, but it's cool of the offshoot stuff that you wouldn't listen to that they listen to, or vice versa. My one good friend, I don't know if he's watching, Angelo, I'm talking about you, bud, uh, kind of led me down a path to experiencing different music. He was into metal too, not strictly metalhead. We weren't all. I don't like labels, but we all had similar tastes and background. But his was a little more diverse, and I picked it up right away. I mean, he made Kid Rock cool again. It was awesome. Listened to a lot of Leonard Skinner, a lot of Southern rock, Johnny Cash, and I just kind of took that from him and started listening on my own, exploring, doing my research, and liking who I liked. And yeah, it was. If you check out my old MP3 player, the playlist is very diverse. It's not just metal. It's not just punk or heck. There's even like a rap song, two or three. I mean, yeah, I do appreciate music when an artist goes out there and does the work, whether it be dark industrial tunes to like synth wave, metal, rap, whatever. Even some punk. I'll listen to. Not a fan, but whatever. It's all about diversity, and I think it starts with music, and music definitely has an impact on not just culture. Like I said, for me with video games, it made them more interesting, and movies. Like I said, you can't have a good horror, thriller, or drama without good music. All right, guys, just want to share that with you. And I think mostly agree with me on that. That music does kind of make it's the soundtrack to our lives pretty much. It kind of defines us some way or another, and what we watch. All right, guys. Well, look, thanks for watching, and until next time, see you all later. Peace.